It seems like it's an absolutely massive year for Lexus. You know, it just came back from Japan. They showed off, gosh, I can't even think what they're called because their naming is so crazy nowadays, even for the concept, LFZC and LFZL. And those are trademarked here. So we're over at Chizai Watch. They watch upcoming patents and trademarks for Lexus, Toyota vehicles, and we saw LFZC right here. There's also Land Cruiser Fun that I haven't even talked about, but such a silly name, Land Cruiser Fun. There's the LFZL. We never saw LFZA. We never saw LFZV. I think that they're coming at some point in time. Who knows when? Maybe they're debuted at the Tokyo Auto Salon, which is a possibility. Okay, but more importantly, there are some more tangible trademarks here. The TZ450E and the TZ550E. Logically, you know, those would be the electric versions of the TX that just got, it's actually into production now, should be available by the end of this year. So electric three-row crossover, these will be built in Kentucky. New trademarks out of Europe, hitting Lexus. Let's get into it. All right, Lexus HZ. HZ. Who in the heck knows what this? I'm going to make a lot of stabs, but let's get into it. Okay, they have HZ 300E, HZ 450E, and HZ 550E. Okay, so we have three powertrains here. 300E, likely front wheel drive. HZ 450E, dual motor all-wheel drive. And HZ 550E, we have not seen this powertrain yet in production. We've just seen it trademarked with the TZ 550E. Now, let's start with H. What does H stand for in Lexus lineups? Well, if it's a hybrid, it ends with an H, a small h. This is a capital H. And with it ending in E, we know it's a fully electric vehicle. Have we had any other vehicle in the Lexus lineup history that has started with an H? And yes, the Lexus HS. The HS, one of the most unpopular Lexuses of all time. I'm not saying it's a bad car, but for a Lexus, it's essentially a gussied up Prius. And at least the CT, even though it had the Prius powertrain, at least the CT looked cool. There's nothing cool about an HS other than its uniqueness and that the Lexus didn't make very many of them. So yeah, HS, what did H stand for in HS? Well, it started for harmonious sedan. Do we have a harmonious Z, HZ, harmonious zero emission vehicle? It's possible. And if it is an HZ, that means it could be a sedan. Could this be the fully electric IS that's coming out? Anything's possible. If they do rename the electric IS to the HZ, it's exciting because we're going to have rear wheel drive, about 200 horsepower, 0 to 60 is probably like 7 seconds. You'll have a hopefully rear wheel drive bias 450E. That will give you 309 horsepower like we have in the RZ, which does 0 to 60 in just a hair under 5 seconds. And then you have this HZ 550E, which I imagine is an F-Sport performance model. And I theorized on this powertrain on Once Upon a Time when we got the TZ trademark. So let's pull up that spreadsheet. TZ 450E, TZ 550E. Now we have HZ 450 and 550 as well as HZ 300. So this is a little spreadsheet I made about the Toyota and Lexus three-row electric crossovers, but their powertrain, not the battery pack. The battery pack should be a lot different here in theory if it's an IS size vehicle, which I'm not done theorizing on the type of vehicle. I'm just giving, it's just one solution. All right. So anyways, should be 402 horsepower, 300 kilowatts, 392 pound-feet of torque, 0 to 60. Well, in this large of a vehicle in 5 seconds, depending on the size of this vehicle, if it is like an IS size vehicle, then it would be more like 4.5, low fours, actually probably low fours, 0 to 60. Going back to theorizing on what HZ could be. Okay, well, could be the name for the IS EV. That's potential number one. Potential number two is that it is a smaller electric crossover, maybe replacing the UX, which would be pretty awesome as well. The UX, it was cool when it came out, kind of, but it's always been way too small for the US market. It's not packaged very well. And its powertrain is a generation behind for about 2 years now, since the Corolla Cross came out with the fifth gen hybrid powertrain with nearly 200 horsepower. Could be replacing the UX, which would be exciting because a 550e powertrain is something as small as a UX. It would be a tiny little electric rocket. Another theory is that it could replace the RZ. So the RZ is just not very competitive, not good enough software, not good enough range, and it's a nice car for if you're just driving around town. It's really smooth, very quiet, built pretty well in my experience, but it's just not good enough for an electric vehicle. And there's other vehicles that probably buy over it in that price point. Absolutely. So another theory could be a fully electric van. We know Lexus just introduced the LM for Europe. Make sure watch my walk around with David Chow when we were in Japan at the Lexus showroom in Aoyama, and it was an amazing vehicle. Maybe they have an fully electric van, maybe based off of the Alphard or the Hi-Ace or something. No, the Hi-Ace wouldn't make sense. It's too commercial. But maybe like an electric Alphard or Velfire sort of thing would make sense for this sort of powertrain scaling. So down below I have the video where Dave and I were walking around the LFZC. Could this be the HZ? It's absolutely possible. I haven't even talked about, right? We don't have an official name for the LFZC, so it could be the HZ, but powertrains like we see, it doesn't seem that exciting for this next generation battery electric vehicle. What about the lineup that was teased to us in 2021? Well, this battery sports concept's not coming out to solid state batteries. This vehicle, this is the TZ that will come out in by the end of 2025 probably. The RZ is already out, and that leaves this guy. Where the heck is the battery electric IS? Where is it? Is this the HZ as well? It's so confusing. Don't understand this trademark at all. If you guys can make sense out of it, let me know. It was just frustrating because I wanted this vehicle to be present at the Japan Mobility Show. But that was not the theme of this year's Japan Mobility Show. The theme was future vehicles coming out of Japan, not near future. So it's probably, the nearest vehicle we saw there is coming 2025, 2026, maybe with the Afeela concept that was there, which was very impressive, by the way. So yeah, it's confusing, and I need your guys' help to give some rationale behind the HZ trademark. I think the most logical bet is that it is one of these two vehicles. The IS, maybe it's the IS wagon is called the HZ. How sick would that be? Okay, I don't know. The IZ is the electric IS. The HZ would be the wagon IZ. I don't know. I need to cut myself off. I'm really excited. So a quick update. I am heading out of town, North Carolina, for Thanksgiving, South Carolina area, and I can't wait to go on a road trip with my family, pack up the Sienna, get the DVDs going, get the road trip snacks out. It's going to be a lot of fun, see some family, and it'll be a good time. So I'm wishing you guys a happy Thanksgiving. If I don't see or hear from you in the coming days, I will be pretty busy traveling and enjoying family. So thank you guys. I'll catch you in the next one. Signing out. Smash a like button if you made it this far. Have a great day and peace.